The world of virtual and mixed reality is moving faster than most of us can keep up with. Just a few years ago, the idea of stepping into a virtual world felt like science fiction. Now, headsets are becoming lighter, smarter, and more immersive than ever before. Companies like Meta are not just pushing small updates. They are working on ideas that could completely change how we see, play, and even work in digital spaces. Over the next 2 years, Meta is planning something big. They are set to release not one, but 2 major headsets. One of them is expected as early as 2026. This will be an ultralight mixed reality headset. It may still need a cable to connect, but it will be powerful enough to offer full mixed reality experiences. The kind where you can see your actual surroundings, but with digital objects seamlessly placed into your world. Imagine sitting in your living room, but also having digital screens floating on the wall, or interacting with 3D holograms right in front of you. That's the future Meta is chasing with this model. The other big release, the long-awaited Quest 4, was originally planned for 2026. But Meta has pushed it back to 2027. This delay may sound disappointing, but it might actually be a smart move. By waiting, Meta is giving themselves time to develop real upgrades instead of small steps forward. The Quest 4 is rumored to be the most advanced headset in the company's history. With eye tracking, advanced rendering, and unmatched performance, it could redefine what the word immersive really means. Recently, a rare opportunity gave us a peek into that future. A private invite to a very special event in Canada revealed 2 prototype headsets that Meta has been working on. These aren't consumer products yet. They're experimental designs, meant to test the limits of what's possible. But if history has taught us anything, it's that these prototypes often become the foundation of the headsets we eventually buy. The first prototype goes by the codename Tiramisu. It doesn't look sleek or polished. In fact, it looks bulky, with a long stack of optics inside. There's no strap to wear on your head. You literally have to hold it up to your face. At first glance, you might think it's outdated or even impractical. But once you look through it, everything changes. Tiramisu focuses on one thing: ultra-realistic visuals. It delivers an astonishing 90 pixels per degree, which is more than 5 times what the current Quest 3 can achieve. To put that in perspective, the Quest 3 already looks sharp compared to older headsets. But Tiramisu pushes so far ahead that your eyes almost forget they are looking at computer graphics. It also offers brightness levels of 1400 nits, giving scenes deep contrast and true-to-life lighting. At first, the narrow 30-degree field of view feels like a deal-breaker. For comparison, the Quest 3 has about 110 degrees. Even then, some people say it feels like looking through binoculars. With Tiramisu, it's like looking through a tiny square window. But here's the shock: once you start focusing on the details, you stop caring about the narrow view. In one demo, you sit in a virtual plane cockpit. Through the Quest 3, the scene looks familiar. Gauges and controls appear, but the night sky outside feels flat and dull. Nothing really convinces you that you're inside a real cockpit. Then, you switch to Tiramisu. Suddenly, the entire cockpit comes alive. Every gauge looks like it's glowing with its own light. Shadows fall naturally. The radar screen seems to broadcast real light, not just display pixels. Even the mountains outside look sharp and visible, where before they were just vague shapes. This is where the headset shines. The small view doesn't matter anymore because your brain is overwhelmed by the realism. It's as if you're peeking through a magic window into another reality. And once your eyes get caught in the detail, the limits of the view fade away. Another demo shows a nature scene. At first, through the Quest 3, it looks like a 360-degree photo of the outdoors. It's pretty, but not convincing. Switch to Tiramisu, and the scene transforms. Sunlight feels real. Shadows shift naturally as your gaze moves. The moss on the rocks, the trees, the dirt, all look so alive that you forget this is digital. For a moment, it tricks you into believing you're standing outside. Only when you get very close do you notice the tiny flaws in rendering. But even then, those flaws are visible only because the resolution is so high that your brain expects real-world perfection. This is something entirely new in VR. For the first time, it feels like if you can't read something in the distance, it's because of your own eyesight, not the headset. The realism is so strong that it mimics the limitations of human vision. It doesn't feel like the technology is holding you back. It feels like real life. Tiramisu is not about convenience or comfort. It's not about wide fields of view. It's about showing how far graphics, resolution, and brightness can go. Even though it may never release in this exact form, the technology inside could easily become part of the Quest 4 or other future headsets. And this is what makes Meta's strategy so interesting. They're not just chasing one type of improvement. They're testing different extremes. One prototype, like Tiramisu, focuses on sharpness and realism. Another, like the Boba 3, which we'll talk about in the next section, focuses on field of view and natural immersion. By combining elements from both, Meta may eventually create the perfect balance, a headset that is light, wide, bright, and realistic all at once. For now, Tiramisu proves something important: true realism in VR is possible. Even if the field of view is tiny, the level of immersion can be breathtaking. It's a reminder that the future of headsets won't just be about convenience or style. It will also be about raw visual power.